Today, we're looking at something built specifically for the AR-15 platform. This is a Leatherman MUT, and I picked this one up used on Facebook Marketplace for $100.
So this is made specifically for ARs?
Yep, and some of the tools in this thing are actually pretty clever. Let's take a closer look. But first, if you're new here, this is Good to Go Gear, where we talk about gear that actually works in the real world.
And today we're checking out this multi-tool.
What's the first thing you notice?
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's definitely heavier than most multi-tools. This thing weighs about 11 ounces, which is a bit more than something like the Leatherman Wave. But that's because this tool was designed around rifle maintenance in the field.
So it's not really meant to replace your normal multi-tool?
Exactly. It's meant to be something you keep in your range bag or rifle kit.
How much does it usually cost?
Usually, it's out of stock everywhere. I looked at Blade HQ, DLT, out of stock. Leatherman seems like it does still sell it on their website, but it's $239 was the cheapest I could find it.
So it's a pretty good deal?
Yeah, real good deal that I got this for $100 on Marketplace. So going over some of the tools, one of the first things you got are the pliers, like on almost every multi-tool. These are useful for pulling stuck pins out of an AR, grabbing hot parts, manipulating springs or detents.
So if you're working on something small and it drops?
Yeah, these can help grab it. They also have replaceable wire cutters right here, which is handy because if you damage them, you can just replace them. And then this is one of the most unique tools on the Leatherman MUT. This is actually a bolt override tool.
What is it for?
Sometimes with AR rifles, you can get a really nasty malfunction where the bolt gets stuck behind a cartridge. That's called a bolt override malfunction, and it can be very difficult to clear. This tool gives you the leverage to push the bolt carrier group back and help clear that jam.
So it's basically a worst case malfunction?
Exactly. Another tool is the bronze carbon scraper.
What does it do?
When you shoot an AR-15, the bolt carrier group can get covered in carbon, and carbon buildup, especially on the bolt tail. So this tool helps scrape that carbon off. And it's a nice piece of brass here. And what's nice about it is if you look, it almost looks sharpened. It is not sharp, but it's angled so you can scrape it off. And if it wears out, you can order a replacement part from Leatherman and then just replace it. One of the things that this tool did not come with, that I'm a little bummed about, is it's supposed to come with an A2 front sight post tool. And you can stick in, adjust your front sight. Then you can also stick in regular bits that you'd use with like a drill or anything to help use it more like a regular screwdriver. This doesn't have it, but you can get that. I think it's $30 on Leatherman's website. Next is this cutting hook. This cutting hook is useful for cutting things like zip ties, cordage, paracord, straps.
So it's kind of like a rescue hook?
Exactly. And again, it's replaceable. You can just pull this screw right here and replace this cutting tool. Then on the bottom here, you have the hammer surface.
Why would you need that?
Sometimes you need to tap pins out or knock something loose, and having a small hammer built into the multi-tool is actually pretty useful. It still has normal multi-tools, it still has tools like normal multi-tools as well. It has a saw. I think that's about a 3-inch blade. On this side, it has an actual blade. You got about 1 inch of serrations and then 2 inches of cutting edge. Right here, you have a bit driver. And right down here, it keeps one of the bits. You just slide it in. You can keep it in there and it kind of acts like a safety against the cutting edge. I like it out so that when I put it in here, I can just grab it and quickly cut anything I needed to cut. Down here on the sides, this one, when I bought it, came with the pocket clip, which is like a $10 upgrade, which was handy. But on the side, you have some more bits that you kind of, you got to unlock it. So there's also a lock mechanism right here. Push that out. This piece pops out. Oh, I just jammed that up. And then you have these bits. And these bits slide into here. And that's handy. And you have one of these bits on either side. You push the lock in, and then you can tap it on your hand, and out comes the other bit. And what I like is you can store it away. And the guy that sold it to me, when he showed me that, he was able to get it out, but he forgot to get it back in with the pocket clip. There's a slot you have to go in. You push the lock down. He couldn't figure out how to get it back in, but you put the slot in, drop it in, push the lock to the middle position, and it locks both those bits in where they don't move. So far, I haven't had any issue having this piece slide out, but if you do have issue with it sliding out, you can put it in here and close it up, and it stores away just fine.
So there's 3 actual bits, but each one has a double side, so it ends up being
like 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why are 2 of them longer than that one?
It's just more specialized, so you can get better reach.
Cool.
So what's handy about this is you can just throw it in your range bag, and if something goes wrong with your rifle, you got tools right here to fix it.
So it's basically a field maintenance tool?
Yeah, and one thing I forgot to go over is right here, if you open the pliers, right here is a hole, and when you close the pliers, that hole is threaded for you to attach your guide or your cleaning rod. So you can thread that in there and then keep your cleaning rod. You don't have to carry any other handle. You can do that right here with the Leatherman MUT. So here's what I like about it. Extremely durable, rifle-specific tools, replaceable components, and the Leatherman's warranty.
So what's the downside?
It's definitely bigger and heavier than most multi-tools. And unless you shoot ARs regularly, you might not need all the specialized tools. One other thing it came with is back here it has a spot to hold a little wrench, and this is handy for like my sight on my SIG, my AR. I can wrench it on it and make sure it stays tight with this, and it just slides right in here into the sheath, which is pretty handy to the holster. And what another thing is, if I had the A2 sight tool, there's a pocket there to slide it down into. So overall, other than the weight and the size, it's pretty handy.
Do you think it's worth $100?
For $100 used, I'd say absolutely. If you shoot AR-15 rifles and want a tool in your range bag, this is a really solid option. Again, this is the Leatherman MUT, and if you enjoy gear reviews like this, make sure you subscribe to Good to Go Gear.
And tell us in the comments.
Do you keep tools in your range bag? And if so, what kind?